Hello and welcome to Cinema Scoop, the preview show with unrivaled access to the great range of movies coming soon. I'm Jan Gilbert and here's what's lined up in this edition. We talk to Diaz, Jake Gyllenhaal and Anne Hathaway.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
James Franco and Colin Firth. We'll also run through some of the fine films you need to be backing to win the big BAFTAs and Oscars in February, even if it's just to impress your mates. It's January, a month of feelings. Well, I mean, it's a month where we feel skint, feel rounder, and feel just a little bit down in the dumps. But with so much good stuff heading into cinemas, 2011 is one new year where you won't have any problem turning that frown upside down. First up, here's our tip for movies heading your way that we expect to be getting a valuable nod from the Academy. Director Danny Boyle is no stranger to award ceremonies, having taken them by storm in 2008 with Slumdog Millionaire, a film that became top dog with audiences taking more than $375 million at the box office worldwide. 127 Hours, his latest, is based on a true story about an adrenaline junkie who gets trapped by a boulder while canyoning alone in Utah and resorts to desperate measures in order to survive. The film lit up the London Film Festival, and that's where star James Franco gave us a lowdown on literally being caught between a rock and a hard place.
Danny made me go on a diet for many months. I met with Aaron, the real Aaron, extensively. He showed me the real videos. I went to climbing gyms, you know, a lot of stuff.
127 Hours is a rush you just have to experience at the cinema. But Danny's not the only British award hope hitting cinemas this month. The King's Speech sees Colin Firth star as George VI and recounts his impromptu ascension to the throne and his relationship with a speech therapist who helped the unsure monarch feel worthy of the crown. Big success is on the cards if the British Independent Film Awards are anything to go by. The King's Speech picked up a stunning 5 awards there, including Colin being named Best Leading Man. Colin is joined on screen by Geoffrey Rush, Helena Bonham Carter and Guy Pearce, and the film's directed by Tom Hooper. He's the guy who gave us The Damned United, although he cut his teeth on episodes of TV shows including EastEnders, Biker Grove and Cold Feet. Thinking Ladies Crumpet, Colin stopped by for a chat recently and told us all about the movie.
I knew very little about this family. Anything I knew about the Second World War was through other things I'd either been involved with or from what I'd learned as a schoolboy. And George VI really wasn't one of them. My mother had told me about the fact that he had to step up and unprepared, and that he suffered from the stammer, and she'd always expressed sympathy about that, but I knew nothing else about it. So it was really I had to start from scratch. There are no therapists that help you to stammer, and there are no books on how to stammer, and so the only clues you have are on what people tell you about trying not to, or trying to negotiate it. And there's a lot of that material, and yes, I did study that, and the best source I had was David Seidler, who's our writer, who not only, in some ways was expressing something of his own story through this, but he was also very powerfully eloquent of his own experience and what it's like. And, from that, all you can take is material to feed your imagination.
While we're on the true story vibe, Conviction is another film with a big name cast that, from what we hear, has been catching the eye of the people who make the Oscar shortlist. Hilary Swank plays a working mum who puts herself through law school to represent her brother, who's been wrongfully convicted of murder and has exhausted his chances to appeal his conviction through public defenders. So she tries to do it herself.
This woman actually went to law school to save her brother.
He's her only client. How long will it take you to make yourself look like a lawyer?
A woman with true grit. And True Grit, funnily enough, is the latest project from the inspiring and inspired Coen brothers. We sat down with the hugely talented but pretty much unknown actress Hailee Steinfeld, who's making her feature film debut in True Grit at the tender age of 13. Yet in some scenes she acts her co-stars Jeff Bridges and Matt Damon right off the screen. Hailee came in to tell us what it was like working with Jeff and Matt, as she calls them, and how she feels about all that awards talk.
I'm so proud, you know, to be a member of such an incredible cast like that. And just Matt and Josh and Jeff was just so humble and so professional, really. And some of the best advice that they've given me is to, you know, not take anything too seriously. And I mean, they've given me the best example of that, and I definitely see, you know, where I want to be when I'm at that stage. After seeing the film, I immediately think back to the day of, you know, sitting in my room waiting for the call and thinking, whoever gets this job is like winning the lottery, and to me that's an award in itself, and I'm just, you know, so again, proud to be a member of such an amazing cast, and so blessed.
You missed your shot, Cogburn.
Just let this go.
I thought you were going to say the sun was in your eyes. That is to say, your eye.
You think of a Western, you think, okay, cowboys and guns and gruesome, you know, gruesome stuff, and it definitely has that. That's, you know, that's the true grit part of the movie. But I really feel that there's more to it than just that. It's more about, you know, the relationships between this girl and you know, Rooster Cogburn and Maddie and LaBeef and all these guys, and how this girl is really, you know, trying to survive, really. And I think, you know, that's you know, kind of the other side of it that, you know, is interesting.
If you get True Grit in the Office BAFTA sweepstakes, we think you're going to be smiling on the night. So what other films are worth checking out in January? Ned's is actor turned director Peter Mullin's third movie. The film sees him put his memories of the 1970s Glasgow of his youth up on the big screen. Think Made in England meets Trainspotting. It's a film Peter's really proud of.
It's not autobiographical because you have to pursue a certain truth. It's fiction, but there's elements to it that I sort of vaguely remember, particularly emotionally. I remember the emotional journey, I remember the darkness, I remember thinking, I kind of find this attractive, and then I remember thinking, I don't like this no more.
Or if a gentler drama is more what you're looking for, Never Let Me Go may be your thing. It's got an amazing cast. New Spider-Man Andrew Garfield takes the lead, starring alongside Keira Knightley and Carey Mulligan. It's about Ruth, Kathy and Tommy, who spend their childhood at a seemingly idyllic English boarding school. But as they grow up, they find they have to come to terms with the strength of the love they feel for each other, while preparing themselves for the haunting reality that awaits them. You might want to take your tissues along to this one.
I think it's a wonderful, wonderful film that's full of soul and sensitivity, and I think the story is compelling.
I think it's like a little, you know, gentle reminder about, you know, the time that you have and what you're going to do with it. I think that's the most hopeful thing to take away from it.
I think that this is a film that offers a lot, and a lot of it's very thought-provoking, but I don't think that I should dictate what you should take away, because it's completely up to you.
Clint Eastwood's latest, Hereafter, is a drama about three people. A blue-collar American, a French journalist and a British schoolboy who are all touched by death in different ways. Matt Damon stars alongside Bryce Dallas Howard in this haunting drama.
I don't even do this anymore.
Beautiful is a movie on a similar theme. It's a story of a tragic hero and father of two who's struggling with a tainted reality and a fate that works against him. The insanely handsome and extremely talented Javier Bardem takes the lead role. So if you're looking for something a bit different, then this is just the ticket. However, if you're looking for a laugh, Vince Vaughn, He's Still So Money, teams up with Kevin James for The Dilemma, a comedy drama about a guy, Ronnie Valentine, played by Vince,
I'm sorry?
who discovers that his best friend's wife is cheating on him. So, should he tell him or not? It's directed by Ron Howard, while Winona Ryder and Jennifer Connelly co-star.
Hey, Ronnie. Where are you?
I'm doing all different kinds of things now.
Why do you sound like you're on medication?
And if you've ever watched daytime TV and wondered what really goes on in the studio, then you won't want to miss Morning Glory. Rachel McAdams, Harrison Ford, Diane Keaton, Patrick Wilson and Jeff Goldblum star in this comedy from Roger Michell. Who he? Well, he's best known as the guy who directed Notting Hill.
No one can do their jobs around here well, because you can't be bothered to do yours at all!
And we're back.
Welcome back to Daybreak.
It seems that Cameron Diaz has got her thirst for action back. Just last summer, she teamed up with Tom Cruise for Night and Day, and now she's starring alongside Seth Rogen in The Green Hornet. Seth plays Playboy newspaper publisher Britt Reed, who fights crime as a masked superhero known as the Green Hornet. He doesn't have any powers as such, but he does have some cool weapons. And at his side is martial arts expert Kato. Cameron plays Lenore Case, who tries to find out who's behind the mask. Cameron, Seth and Jay Chow have been filling us in on what's in store.
I play Britt Reed, who is kind of a, I've been saying irresponsible idiot is kind of the term that I've grown fond of. Drink? And then his father dies, and kind of to get back at his father, who he hated, he thinks it'd be fun to be a superhero, but he's completely incapable of doing that on his own. So he meets Kato, who was one of his father's former employees, and Kato can do all these amazing things, and we kind of get jealous of each other because I take all the credit and he does everything. And meanwhile, we're both idiots and know nothing about crime, so we need to hire a secretary who we manipulate into feeding us information on what we should hypothetically do next as criminals.
I, of course, am the brains of the operation.
Of course.
So I'm needed to help them achieve what they think. They don't know how to get what they want. They don't even know what they want. So I kind of just am there to help them along in that.
Yeah. Once we have the idea to be criminals, to kind of pose as criminals, to be heroes, we don't know what to do next at all. And so we realize that she actually knows exactly what a smart criminal would do in order to rise to power, and she kind of feeds us that information.
But I'm only doing it because I'm passionate about journalism, and I'm actually doing my job, which is to find out sort of who the Green Hornet is,
but
or
I don't care about
what
journalism
he's about
at all in the movie, so yeah.
He's just using me.
Yeah.
The TV drama is my parents' generation. So my father's hero is Kato. Was Kato. So right now I'm Kato. So I'm very excited.
Because now he's his father's
He's his own dad's hero.
Yeah.
As opposed to me, who's an embarrassment. You know, I think it has all the elements that the good versions of these movies have, but it's really funny on top of that. I mean, we wanted it to be a really great action movie and be exciting and suspenseful and, you know, interesting visually, but at the same time we wanted it to be really funny and the characters to be interesting together. So I think hopefully it has all those things. Red light, stop! Stop! The camera got us. Can I shoot one?
A film that won't be pulling any punches but will tug at your heartstrings is Love and Other Drugs. And never has working in pharmaceuticals seemed quite so appealing. Anne Hathaway plays Maggie, an alluring free spirit who won't let anyone or anything tie her down. Then she meets the charming Jamie, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, and soon they're both falling under the influence of the strongest drug of all, love.
I'll speak for Annie. She wanted to work with me, and she wanted to have love scenes with me.
Again.
Yeah, that's basically the reason why.
I wanted to do a film where you got to be straight.
That's true.
And I was curious of how that would compare.
That's true. Well, because in the last movie we did, you know, we didn't really have a legitimate love affair.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why I did it. No, the first it's Edswick, who's directed, you know, Blood Diamond and The Last Samurai and Glory, and, you know, he's worked with this extraordinary group of leading actors that is kind of embarrassing that I've now become a part of. And then I think the script, when I read the script, it was so much like so many movies that I loved, like Jerry Maguire and like Broadcast News. It kind of flip-flopped between comedy and emotion and drama and romance, and, you know, all within a kind of human context. You're gonna laugh at me.
No, I'm not. I was thinking of something completely different.
You're laughing at me. Sometimes when I talk, she just starts laughing, and it makes me feel like I'm totally full of
No, it's not that. I'm I don't know why. No, I'm a bit giddy right now, and just being next to you, it overwhelms me.
Overwhelms you?
Yeah, I'm just feeling a little overwhelmed by your presence.
I'm always overwhelmed by your
By my preference?
By your preference. By your presence. Your presence always overwhelms.
You're always overwhelmed by my presence?
By your pleasantness.
Sorry.
Your pleasantness.
We're totally ruining your interview. I'm so sorry.
This one is going to have you laughing and crying in equal measure. You have been warned. To find out what's playing near you and to book tickets, visit moviepreviewguide.com, where you'll always find loads of free giveaways and great competitions. Sadly, that's a wrap on this edition of Cinema Scoop. The lineup of releases for 2011 looks as thrilling as you could wish for, and I hope this taste of the first few weeks has whetted your appetite for an extra helping or two of the special cinema experience. Go on, you know you want to. I'm Jan Gilbert, and I'll see you at the movies.